Hey, everybody. Scott Hawksworth here, Soul Colonic Podcast, and I'm really glad that you joined us tonight. In about 30 seconds, we're going to have episode 4, I guess we're at. So join us, go get a cup of coffee, tell your friends, and we'll see you in about 30 seconds. All right? Well, welcome back. Happy New Year. We're glad to see you. It's episode 4 of our podcast, Soul Colonic, and it's 2019. And so we're happy to all be together. I've got my colleagues here, and we got Chris with us, and we've got Tyler, and we got Josh. So everybody, say hi.
Hey guys. So excited to be here, man. It's been a little bit of a break.
Yeah, we've been a little further than we expected to.
We've spent some time with family, getting our priorities set for the new year.
Had a good Christmas.
Yeah, I had a great Christmas, great New Year.
Holidays were good. Chris, what'd you get for Christmas?
I got a lot of stuff. I got a shoe shining kit, which was cool.
Yes, you did.
Did you get some
shoe shining?
Did you get some Legos?
I did. I got a whole bunch of Legos, like a big tub of Legos.
I believe you. I think that you're not just joking that, and you probably actually got them from Legoland. I mean,
No, I stole them from my mom's house.
Who bought you the shoe shining kit? I have 2 guesses.
Go ahead, guess.
Okay, well, first one, and this is really obvious. So this will be my second one. But did you buy it for yourself?
No.
Okay, was it then Janelle?
No, actually, it was my nephew, Tyler.
Oh, my gosh. Great gift, Tyler.
That is
also,
a good gift. Way to go.
Great name. Great guy. I love
I
you,
like
Tyler.
shoe shining kits, too, Tyler. Pastor Appreciation Day one day. Just bug in your ear. So
shoe shining kit. Okay. I can get behind that. That's a cool, manly gift.
You need like a brush and
the creams, and I like that.
But
I want somebody else to actually do it. I don't want to do my shoes.
Shiner,
not a shoe shiner.
Is that not like just like a really manly gift?
Yeah.
Pocket knife,
cool.
shoe shining kit.
But is it toxic?
Oh,
If you-
absolutely.
if
That's
you-
what makes it manly.
If you put enough of it down under your tongue, it will be.
This
so
is
we
a Gillette joke.
we always say that the way you leave one year is how you enter another year, or the way you leave one situation is how you enter the next situation. So how did everybody leave 2018 to get into 2019? And while we're asking this, you know what we are doing? We're really just giving people an opportunity to get their computers logged in so they can be texting us questions and answering along with us, dialoguing as it were.
So what did everybody do to end their year out?
Like, did you end the year embittered and angry with somebody? Because that's just the stinking way you would end up going into the next year. So
I really ended the year really expectant in several different ways. Not to go spiritual on the first topic of the show, but just in so many ways, like personally, I've got some personal goals, but also expecting that, God's going to do something great. And I know he will. There's things on the docket for the year already to make it a great year, but just having that mindset and going into it has really changed my approach for January.
that's good.
And
That's
so
the
it's
way
been
you
a great month.
So you left expectant.
I did.
Somebody else who entered into 2019 expectant was Sarah and Anthony Demery, but they're not expectant anymore. They had twins yesterday.
Woo-hoo!
So shout out to our
happy.
dear friends.
And how long have we known those two?
45 years. They were in my youth group 45 years ago.
That can't be true. I've known them.
Man, if they're not watching right now, they can't defend themselves.
They were.
So, word to the wise, watch, you can defend yourself.
Yes.
If
See,
you don't, you can't.
that's it. You have no excuse. You know that we're going to do something you need to defend, so.
I ended the year definitely on an up note. I would say that as a whole, 2018 was a little bit of a difficult year as far as just like it was challenging, but in a good way. I think that, I'll just jump on the spiritual train just like you did. Spiritually speaking, the Lord just revealed so many things that I needed to fix in my life in order to go and achieve the things that He's called me to do. and that's from being a good father, a good husband, a good friend, a good son.
Well,
all
I
those
thought you were saying
things.
about what God did in your life. You're talking
Yeah,
about
I am.
me.
No, stop. I just like the things that I had to allow the Lord to fix in me was painful and difficult. And finally, by the end of the year, I started feeling like there was some wind in my sails. I was feeling like there was progress. So at the same time as feeling I was on an upswing, I also feel at the same time I was kind of limping out of 2018.
So
You know,
so
I
you
feel like
entered into
I
this
entered
with
into
a,
19
with a bit of a
with
limp.
a bit of a limp.
With a bit
But
of a
you know,
limp.
wasn't there a guy in Scripture that like walked away with a bit of a limp after wrestling with God?
Wrestled
for a
Yeah,
bit?
there were
God.
a couple, right?
Well, we're
Yeah,
talking about...
and they did not do anything great in life. So
No, so I'm not.
you're screwed.
But Isaac and his name got changed, or Jacob, excuse me, and his name got changed to Israel. So you...
So my name shall now be
Israel.
I want something more original than that. How about
It's pretty original. You don't really hear that.
I'll
name
be
too often.
dandy.
I'll be
Dandy.
dandy. You're dandy. So anyway,
dandy.
welcome into the 2019s, everybody, and we're 15 days or 16 days into it. I haven't checked my calendar. So with that,
16,
2016, I know that there's people who have maybe watched the last several of our podcasts and have heard us talking about a specific item that we have not done. And we did leave 2018 not having had our colonic, and we're entering 2019
Because
in
the way
same
that
way
you leave one situation
is the way
that you
yeah,
enter
that's
the
right.
next,
However, you want an update on it?
Please.
Yeah, please.
Update on it? Okay.
Please.
Update.
Anxiously waiting.
Anxiously awaiting. So last time, if you remember when we talked, I had discussed the situation, called the company that we're securing our colonic with, and
Who did you speak with?
I talked to the assistant to the regional manager, and I really felt good about that till today. I talked to Michael Scott himself.
All
right.
You talked to the manager.
Well, her
slash
name,
operator.
the owner actually, and her name
You
is
talked to David
Melissa
Wallace.
I talked to David. I talked to
David
Melissa,
The
and she's the owner.
/CFO.
It was a really delightful conversation. She's a Christian woman, and I loved it because she talked about how the Lord's really blessing their business. 39% up, and when hydrocolon therapy shops are shutting down, and theirs is on the increase anyway. So so we talked with them, and we are in the process of scheduling and getting things on the books. And
Great.
you guys have something to look forward to.
I'm looking forward to it already.
I've been looking forward to it. I left 2018 looking forward to it. I entered 2019 also looking forward to it. So
Yeah.
just let's get it done.
Let's get it done. I'm ready for it. So well, we got some other exciting news. We are having somebody join our family here at the Soul Colonic, and we want to welcome a specifically anointed sponsor to the Soul Colonic family, and they are special because they provide that elixir concocted from the anointed coffee bean. So everybody say hello to Kelly and Kevin Stark, owners of Stark Brews Coffee. Hello, and cheers and welcome, and we're so excited to have Star Brews Coffee with us. You can find them on the web at starkbrewscoffee.com. I think a minute ago I said starbrews.com. I almost put Starbucks in there.
No.
Shame on me. So you can find them at starkbrewscoffee.com or on Facebook by searching the same thing. Check them out and find out all of the amazing U-Smart products that they supply. I'm partial to the coffee myself. That's actually what we're enjoying in our awesome U-Smart coffee cups tonight. So everybody, raise a cup. Thank you, Stark Brews Coffee. Yeah,
I didn't get a cup.
You didn't get.
You don't drink
All right,
coffee.
Kelly,
don't
we need one
pretend.
more.
We need Stark Brews tea.
Or
Oh,
there,
snap.
okay, now there's a good
chance to
good
expand the
conversation.
business.
I bet
out.
you, yeah.
Or Stark Brews Cocoa. They haven't, and actually, their product is amazing, and their self-evident results are at the core of every Revital U-Smart product. Their coffee is engineered to help users lose weight, boost energy, and improve focus using a collection of scientifically supported nutrients and ingredients so you can go with control and confidence. Did you hear that? Science is involved with this. And I
It's
thought it was
science.
just science and anointing all rolled up
believe
into
in
one.
science.
Star, that's right.
You know, some Christians are tuning out right away. They
Because
don't
they
think
said
those things can be
science.
married.
They
Yeah,
totally missed
you
the word
said-
anointed.
Yeah.
Stark Brews Coffee. You know what you'll do? If you contact them, then you will, and ask, you will be sent this lovely little packet of information that has in it 3 packets. You can see 1 packet is missing because we're using it right here. A packet of coffee.
We used more, but I used that one.
Yeah, you used that one. And you'll pour it in your hot cup of water and make up this coffee, and it's and you're going to get 10% off on your first order. So contact them today. And benefits of this is it suppresses appetites, boosts energy, stays focused. You can find out some really great testimonies on the website, and I think that you'll really be excited. So everybody, once again, welcome Stark Brews Coffee, and thank you for sponsoring, and thank you for the coffee.
Thank you. It's fueling our episode.
That is. We're going to have
literally.
another cup in just a little bit, probably.
Sweet.
We're going to see if we can do this episode real fast. Hey, today we've got a topic. Last time we were talking about procrastination and how kicking the can down the road is
It's an art form.
and a soul issue as well. It's an art form of soul stuff. We're going back to our Philippians 4:8 scripture, of course, to get our topic for tonight. And, of course, that scripture says that whatever's true, whatever is noble, pure, lovely, just, of good report, virtuous, and if they are praiseworthy or anything good, that's what praiseworthy is. If it's good, anything good, then think on these things. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about, our topic tonight is the outflow. The name of this episode is the outflow. Why? Because we want praise, we want good things, talking about good things to come out of a healthy soul. And so if you'll look at our little colon chart, I like to call it the soul. Lately, what we have really talked about is, where's my camera? What we've really talked about over the last, looking at my lights here, I'm still looking right there. Whoop, there we go, right there. I think we've hung out generally right here. This is where stuff goes up. We absorb stuff from life in through all of our senses, you know, the situations that happen to us, and we absorb them, we take them in, and then they go to the transverse colon, and this is where they ferment. We mull them over. We think, you know, these life situations are affecting us. But they got to go somewhere. We got to absorb them or deal with them, you know, whether it's things that bring in bitterness, unforgiveness, or what have you. Ultimately, after it makes it through the colon, there's an outflow, and my diagram shows me where that comes from. So, outflow.
Pretty self-explanatory.
Like self-explanatory. So
I think we all know how that works.
yes, we do. So what comes out of us after everything is processed, after life situations take place. And so what I want us to do is let us focus on the good things and let what comes out of us be good and praiseworthy and think on those things. So let's talk about the good things that happened in 2018. What are some great things that happened to you, some good things that happened to you during last year? Maybe you've complained about them, griped about them, you were bitter about things that happened, or just glad 2018's over, but anybody can complain. Can you praise God and give glory and just really be thankful for some things? And so I'm going to start this conversation about some great things. And you don't have to get all hyper spiritual about, you were not hyper spiritual, but beautifully glorifying God on what He did at the end of the year. Yeah. You were as well. But I'm just going to say, I thank God that something replaced the obsession with a blue or a gold dress, and that was whether it was Yanni or Laurel. That was a good thing.
Please chime in, by the way. Was it Yanni or Laurel?
I loved all of those memes.
In the
about,
comment
Yes,
section.
it was, wasn't it? You loved what?
About, like, whenever a spouse would say... Did you see any of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
causing
when
some
somebody would
serious
say that-
division in the households.
Yes.
It was.
Seriously.
I mean, the post were, anybody who thinks this is saying Yanni is stupid.
People get really upset about that.
I don't
Ears
quite
are broken.
But why am I thinking this was a good thing? Because it got off of that other stupid conversation the year before that was the gold or the blue dress. I don't even remember what color the dress was, because I'm so thankful that now everybody knows Laurel is what was said and not Yanni.
I heard Laurel.
You heard Laurel? I heard
Yeah,
Laurel.
I
heard
did.
Laurel.
I heard Laurel. Every
Chris?
time.
Well, the science behind that is if you have a better quality recording device, you'll hear Laurel. If you don't, you'll hear Yanny. So all the iPhone people heard Laurel.
And the Android
There
users,
you go.
They heard Yanny.
they heard
Yeah.
Yanny. Dang,
Shots
major
fired.
shots
Yeah.
fired.
That's fine. That should be like their
Appreciate
next
that.
commercial. Apple has commercials now. I don't know if you've seen them, but
Maybe we should reach
Um,
out to them for a sponsorship.
yes.
Totes.
Hey guys, we got this idea. Copyright 2019, and the ship has probably sailed. You know.
Your wife
Hey,
heard Laurel, and Melissa also saw a gold
You know,
dress.
it's really funny though. I've got not the greatest hearing, and I've got not the greatest hearing, and I still heard it the same way everybody else did.
Yeah, that was a fun
yeah,
little
yeah.
thing. It even made its way all the way up to the White House. Did y'all see the fun thing with the current presidential administration? A couple of the key prominent speakers they did the challenge and they made a YouTube video.
I didn't see that.
I thought it was pretty
I didn't see
funny.
that.
Made them seem a little bit more down to earth or whatever. I think every administration is trying to, or not just presidential administrations, but like everyone in politics now is trying to be more relatable. So it was fun that part of pop culture made its way into the White House. Anyway,
Seems
yeah.
there's a lot of pop culture in the White House. Also, another good thing that happened, I know a lot of people are going to be excited about this. They were just really excited about Haley Baldwin and Justin Bieber's engagement and impromptu wedding.
I know I was.
I know.
I don't know
Yes.
who Haley Baldwin is. I've heard of the Biebs, so he is no longer on the market. I'm hearing
No,
So
he
he's
never
married.
Really was.
he is.
Yeah,
he's a
that's
married
weird.
guy.
That's
All right,
really
this
You know
stuff
what
really
this
isn't.
means? This now means that the clock is on for how long this marriage will last, because it's a celebrity marriage. That's how they do it.
Yeah, yeah. It's an interesting topic. Celebrity marriages, it's sad. Everybody, that was the first thing that you said about this poor young people's marriage, that you doubted that they could last very long. But it is very sad that that's the very first thing people think of.
I didn't say I doubt it. I'm just saying the clock is on, and that
Right.
clock might go forever.
Yeah, or 2 weeks.
But you
never
know,
know.
do you realize?
Yeah.
Do you realize how much time we're actually spending talking about the Bieber when really some good stuff that happens was stuff like, remember the Thai boys soccer team
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
that was a
trapped in
great
the hiking
story.
cave?
Yeah,
they were
that soccer
trapped.
team in Thailand.
Seasonal flooding. I mean, this was something that
Right.
we watched back when, man. I guess when you were a baby or earlier, I remember the little girl that fell down the well for several days.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
captured
yeah.
the
I
nation.
watched a
This
video on that recently.
that was
Yeah.
stirring.
She fell in a
heart-stirring.
hole, right?
In a little
Yeah.
tiny
and
hole.
what was it
Oh,
like?
that's
5
terrifying.
years. There was those guys in South America. They were miners
In
Chile.
in
Chile.
Chile. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were stuck in there. They made a movie about that one.
These stories
I don't
are
know
just
what it was called.
phenomenal,
Yeah.
and so I love thinking and talking about those. And so that was on June 23rd that one happened. They were in there 18 days, and so that was a real praise God on that one. I know there was some other good stuff that happened. I was never a fan. I just hadn't got into them like you guys did of the Ocean's movies until Ocean's 8 this past year.
Boo.
Hey,
What?
Sandra Bullock.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Melissa was watching it on HBO last night, and I didn't
No,
get a
it
chance
was
to
really
watch
good. I liked
Was
I liked
it?
it.
Okay. I just whenever I
Sand-
see those things,
it. It had
kinda
the
come
lady
back
from
around.
Bird Box.
Sandra
The
Bullock.
lady from
Yeah.
Bird Box.
Which, by
I
the
gotta
way,
go home and watch that.
by the way, watch it and tell me what you think.
I will.
I watched it.
There's so many movies on Netflix I got to swap. I know that's not what we're talking about right now, but Solo finally made it to Netflix, and I have successfully
Sweet.
not heard any spoilers about the movie other than everyone said they hated it. I can't wait to watch it.
Everyone dies.
Thank you.
Remember that thing that happened to R2? Got to tell you about that real quick.
No, don't tell me about it.
Dang it.
Also, something I've been able to dip and dodge past most of the spoilers for Infinity War. That's finally on Netflix. I'm gonna watch.
Okay,
it.
everybody, start flooding the
I know
page
that
with
half the
comments
people
on
died. I just don't know
Infinity
who
War.
the people
I
are
didn't
that
see
died.
Infinity War either. I didn't.
I
see
know everyone
No, I didn't
dipped
either.
out on us when we were supposed to go. Anyway, yeah, I remember. I remember following the kids in the cave in Thailand. That was awesome. What else happened in 2018 that was awesome? I know you have a list over here.
2018 also found a soldier who is Private Shamika Barrage. She lost her ear in an accident, and they didn't give her a prosthetic ear.
Right.
They grew her a new ear on her arm.
I think we could have a whole
What?
episode about this topic.
This would be great.
Really, we could, because
Google it, look at the
there
pictures.
are a lot of people that are like, is this playing God? Can we really create things?
Oh, I think God gave us the
And
wisdom.
I
that
totally agree.
that opens the Bird Box. Did I use that right?
No, you didn't.
Okay,
but
so the
well,
girl,
I haven't seen the movie yet.
Okay, this girl, they put the cartilage in here,
Okay.
and then they took her cartilage, put it in here, and they grew her ear, and were able to transplant it up here, and she has 2 ears now. But I foresaw this, and I
Explain.
wrote okay, his name is Free Dump Willie Bump.
Oh my gosh.
I would tell this. Do you remember the story? What is the story about?
When me and my brother would fight going to bed when we were at the ages of like 5 and 7 and such.
Teen.
No, please. My dad, pastor here, he would put cold weather finger gloves, not the mittens, but gloves, and he would put them over his ears, and then he'd put a beanie on, and he would pretend like he had hands for ears, and that his hands...
And
or
ears
ears for hands and hands for ears.
Yes, and his name
was Free Dump.
and I
Willie
told a
Bump, and
story.
he just did dumb stuff.
Well, now you see it's not so dumb. Now science has jumped on, and I'm going to get royalties. All right, what else happened?
Private Willie Bump.
Private. That was no. Yeah, Private Willie Bump. Also, another key thing that is
Can
noteworthy.
I tag onto that last one just really quick?
Please.
You
Of
can
course
look
you
it
can.
up later.
If it's praiseworthy.
Human ear, they've been growing them on mice.
Oh yes, they've been doing this for a while.
And I've seen those pictures. Google them.
What?
It is weird.
That is weird.
It's
No
it's
thanks.
weird. It is something.
I reject
cinematic.
that science. I reject it.
It's witchcraft. What kind of sorcery?
That's witchcraft.
Is that? Yeah. As Colorado
See
man
that?
had a really rough year this past year.
That's gross.
That is gross. A Colorado man had a rough year, and we praise God not for his rough year, but for the fact that he survived in 1 year both a bear attack and a shark attack.
That is
Man
literally
of
my
the
nightmare.
year.
That's
Why
your
is
nightmare.
he not
That's
the
his-
Times Man of the Year?
Oh yeah,
That is incredible.
I mean, and why is he not like tried the lottery? You know the
Right.
the
Why
likelihood
is he not
of,
just staying inside of his house forever?
yeah.
yeah. Don't get on an
'Cause
airplane
something will
because
find
you're
him
more
there.
likely to get attacked
A
by a
Yeti.
shark
No,
than die in
Bigfoot.
a plane
Bigfoot's
crash, right?
coming for him. He's got to stay on the move.
That's next year.
Yeah.
That's next
Yeah.
year. No,
he
you said
entered
why-
2019
You-
with some lofty goals and standards.
So you said, why didn't he enter the lottery? Because last year somebody else, Victor Amole of Virginia, entered the lottery because he dreamed the numbers
You got to be kidding
and
me.
he won $400,000.
That's
Nice.
incredible.
He said the numbers came to him in his dreams.
That is
Guys,
Wow, God, don't fail me.
Good things happen.
good things do happen. Let's praise
Yeah.
God for them. What are some of those good things that happened to y'all though, and
Oh,
and
man.
to us? That was other people,
Nothing
but the
in
main story,
comparison.
nothing.
Nothing in comparison to.
Oh, I thought you said nothing embarrassing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no,
didn't.
plenty of those.
Good thing that happened to me. I didn't get attacked by a shark or bear.
Praise
Right,
God for that.
right.
Yes, I remember when that didn't happen. That was really awesome. I
Man,
liked that.
I kept my son alive for another year.
Way
That
to
was
go.
good.
Wait,
Yeah.
I've kept my son alive for 29 years.
Yes, you have done a good job right there. Boom.
Right there.
Not killed him yet.
I haven't killed
Um,
G.
Let's see.
Plenty of chances.
Good things that happened this year. My wife started her own business.
Awesome.
A lofty goal.
Yeah, she has sponsored several of our
She's
podcasts.
Natalie Hawksworth's Cosmetic Tattoo has sponsored every one of our podcasts until today, and you can look her up. She does great work, but that was something that she's been talking about doing for a long time, and she finally did, and she's been doing a really great job with that. Oh,
Yay for that.
how about just like professionally, the three of us are involved in a basically a church plant, kind of. We've been going mobile for a year, and just the setting up and tearing down in a gymnasium.
Right.
A
Praise
gymnasium
God, this
with
is praiseworthy,
plastic
y'all.
floors,
Yep.
basically running a sound system. We've only had two major issues. And if you know anything about sound, the fact that we've only had two major issues when we're running as much power
Is
as we do
praiseworthy.
on a plastic floor.
Philippians 4 stuff right there.
Boom.
Praise
Yeah,
God for
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, plenty of good stuff.
That
Josh,
is-
what about you?
Yeah. So nothing came to mind when you asked. My wife is watching, and I'm sure she'll chime in on like some really important things. My sister got married this year.
Yeah.
Jordan got
All
married.
right, Jordan.
She lives in Wyoming, unfortunately.
Boo.
Miss her. Really do miss her.
Yes.
I'm trying to get her to come back.
Because
Hopefully
she
one
plays
day.
the bass, and we need some bass.
She does play the bass, but she's also a great sister.
Our
So-
sponsor Kelly says what something good happened to them this year is they found our church Faith Point. Shout out to Kelly, you're so sweet.
That's sweet. We're glad.
What else happened to you
Yeah,
this year?
so that happened. Again, like you said, kept my children alive.
Always a good.
You know what?
thing.
That is a
Better
good year.
yet-
When that happens, that's
better
a good thing.
yet-
I like that.
Better yet, we did not. No,
The jury's
we
not
did
out on that one yet.
We did not have any serious injuries this year.
That's good.
Almost did, multiple times, but
Well, you got a
very
3-year-old
good.
that runs around with the full steam of a
Oh
locomotive
yeah,
engine.
and the other one is just like
Right
sticking
behind
her
him.
foot out to trip him. Yeah. So yeah, my son was potty trained this year. That was a huge deal.
Oh,
And
man.
we're about to potty train the second one, which Melissa and I, we were talking the other day, and parents out there, if you agree, tell me your stories. But potty training is not a 3-day thing, and it technically did happen within the bounds of like 3 or 4 days. But it's really more of like a year-long thing. I'm starting to notice because you still end up with some problems.
Well, accidents don't count.
Dude,
Yeah,
'Cause
Chris
that's
is still
the
working
case.
through them. He's like 20, 25
I
years
would say
later.
2 to 3 of those problems happened at my house.
Oh, at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. So that was a big one.
Hey, my niece got married.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
my niece,
Yeah.
Carrie and Zach.
Carrie.
She got married to a rocket scientist or an astronaut. He's owner of NASA or something. He's
The owner of NASA.
owner
He
of
works at
NASA.
Mission
Like
Control.
Zach. No, Zach. He works in mission control. Doesn't
Works
he?
in Mission
Yeah.
Control. Yeah.
Anyway, it's really cool.
Cool
I love,
guy.
and
Really
I love
cool
having
guy.
conversations. He's
Yeah.
the smart one in the family.
At least
Anyway, so way to go,
ambitious.
Carrie. Way to go. You
The
landed
proof
a
of
good
that
one.
isn't him working at Mission Control. Proof of that was him
Marion and Tar.
choosing to marry Carrie. Who
Way to
is
go.
just the best.
Let's take a moment to turn this conversation up the soul, as it were.
Let's do it.
So
Right on
we've
up.
been talking about some good things that happened in 2018, but I'm sure equally we could have or maybe have complained about some of the stuff that's happened there. So, in perpetual complaining, I guess my question is perpetual complaining, how does that affect the soul? Do the negatives, how do negatives affect our day? And and is complaining a soul issue, or can it be a soul issue?
Oh man, yeah.
Oh man.
Have you ever met someone who perpetually complains?
Wah,
Have
Oh,
you ever?
yeah.
wah. Debbie
I would
Downers are
say,
what we
You
yeah.
can't
call
lift them out of that.
No, you
that
can't. It's
trench.
or
almost.
like it's the people that always come to you with a problem, and so you listen and you start to give them an issue. They say, "Yeah," and then they just start repeating it.
Yes,
And they just go-
exactly.
what I would say is, how does that affect our soul? It's like the sludgy backup slime that like doesn't process, it just sits there.
Yeah.
And there's no outflow of it. It just sits there and it gets septic.
Well,
The,
it's because
the
they're
fluid,
thinking-
the liquid has congealed.
They're thinking
Yeah.
on the wrong things.
They're
in
thinking
my
on the
opinion.
wrong things. They're not
And-
thinking about good things
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
And and misery loves company. So these kinds of people, they spread that
Yeah.
negatively like a virus. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that comment right there, negative, misery loves company. I
yeah.
think that's a spiritual principle.
Oh, absolutely.
So there's a scripture that says God inhabits the praises of his people, right?
Amen, yeah.
So we know that's a truth, and we feel it like when we start off our in worship, and you change we call it changing the environment. We get in there, we worship, and you feel just the presence of God. But the same thing happens when we praise, the devil, praise Satan. So one of my examples of that, and we've talked about it before, is when you're a kid and you're telling ghost stories at a slumber party or something. What happens? Suddenly everybody is freaking out and
Jumpy.
jumpy and scared
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything.
Every
And-
creak in the wall,
Yeah.
every time the house settles, it's a ghost.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the same thing. That's the principle of misery loves company.
Yeah.
God inhabits the praise of his people. Satan, you praise that spirit.
Yeah.
You praise that and give it glory. It's going to
You
show
change
up
your
there.
atmosphere.
Yeah, you change your
Absolutely.
atmosphere. So yeah, I think that's excellent right
one
there.
thing, one really practical thing to change an atmosphere that we've made to change this year in our home for over the past year, 2018. My kids, Joshua mainly, really loves worship music. Holiday, not as much. She'd rather sing "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star."
Sinner.
But we're all born, into this world as fallen, so we're working on her. But
Put more
but
effort
really,
in on that one, man. You need to put a little bit
Come into
elbow
this
grease
I
into
know.
that.
We
Yeah, I'm
come
a
in this
parent,
world
so it's
as
my fault. but really, one thing that really changes the atmosphere of our home is we know, like, we're having a hard time, we're having a rough day, the kids are in a bad mood. Immediately, first thing that we do, we turn on some worship music. And it
Nice.
changes it immediately.
Totally. Yeah.
It really does. And my kids know all the words to a lot of the songs that we sing at church. We get them to sing their own songs, and it really changes that. And it can suck those negatives out
Yeah.
because, like you said, it's praising the right things, and it's giving attention and thinking on the right things was good and true and holy and whatnot. So, and just changing that.
Yeah,
really
I
can
think
change your day.
for us, like leading up to the Christmas holidays, we in our household things were getting just really tense. Just dealing with a bunch of interpersonal things from our distant family to prepping for the holiday, just juggling a lot of things, not getting a lot of time together. Things were getting really heavy, and then finally, when the time off came, and we were all alone at the house. And I feel like it's the first time I had been at my house alone with my wife and my kid for more than a day and a half at a time, and more than I can remember. And I just looked at my wife eventually, and I was like, "Hey, we need to have fun. Let's just change our mindset to have fun." And she was like, "Yeah, we had just gotten to such a perpetual cycle of everything being really heavy all the time, needing to solve some sort of problem." Or and things like that. And so instead of having that outlook, it was like, no, hold on. Those things will be there. I have a week off from work. Let's just have fun. And it was like, I remember saying that almost out of frustration. I went in the other room to go do some dishes, and she came in to greet me, and she totally was a different person. She was like, "Hey," and I was like, "What's going on?" She's like, "We need to have fun." And so it lightened things up, and literally
permission to have fun, please, sir.
And even though like I was basically spent Christmas break taking care of them for sicknesses and stuff, we all had a really good time together. So yeah, it's a perspective shift a lot.
Let me ask you guys this. Have you ever had a time in your marriage where something other than what was good or what was pleasant, not something between the two of you, but maybe something that you were going through as a couple, external influences, or would like maybe drama or something, maybe with work or whatever it was really monopolizing maybe your date times? Have you ever had that?
Off and on throughout, for
and
sure.
Yeah, and it was necessary to talk about, but like over time you just kind of defaulted to focusing on that, like dates and that that negativity can really seep into your marriage.
And affect it on so many levels. So many levels, it really can.
Yeah.
I think that I remember one time that was really prominent was when we were getting ready to move from the little town that we were living when we were in college. We lived in Waxahachie, Texas, and we were getting ready to transition back here. But there was a 6-month time frame where my wife had to move here early because she was starting a job. And so we saw each other some weekends, but for the most part, we just didn't see each other at all. And money was really tight because I was working a minimum wage job, and her job wasn't paying anything yet. And so anyway, when I finally came down and we all got situated in our apartment and everything, we never transitioned our mindset out of that kind of grind it out, just trying to get through the season. And we just kind of kept going through life in that same way. And then all of a sudden one day church was out and I was like, "Hey, let's go get lunch. Let's not just go home like we always go home and take a nap. Let's go spend some time together." We drove up to what became one of our favorite restaurants in Georgetown, El Monumento Cafe.
Love
and
that place.
I remember spending more money than I had in a long time, but man, we sat there for an hour and a half and talked and had dessert and had coffee and everything, and it was delicious. And man, did we have a good time. And it blew the doors off the hinges to that, and it exposed that was how we were thinking and how we had gotten into a rut living that way. And so, from that point going forward, we began to put more of an emphasis on dating and stuff. But man, you don't even realize that you
Nope.
get there until you step out of it and you're on that date. And when you realize how uncomfortable or alien this feeling is, you're like, oh man, we haven't dated in a long time. I don't even know what to do right now. How do I date? You know, just life gets,
Man.
you have to be intentional. We've talked about it on previous podcasts. You have to be intentional with your time. How easy is it to come home and veg out on Netflix? You're with your spouse.
Oh yeah.
And
You're
think
sitting
that,
there
Super
together.
and
easy.
thinking that's quality,
You know?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
not
the
quality
I
easiest
mean,
thing.
the chill part of Netflix and chill is quality time. You know what I'm saying?
the chill.
Okay.
Hey-o.
Good
Okay.
stuff.
I don't know if that's
Come on, back up your soul. Okay,
I
come
mean,
on.
we could,
Hey, that's godly.
Okay.
it is because
Married.
we're married.
Yay, we're married.
Yay.
But yeah,
was
yeah.
not sarcastic.
Quality,
Not
quality time
enthusiastic at all.
is not sitting and staring at TV and
Oh yeah, staring in each
Yeah.
other's eyes.
yeah,
Like
or,
I'm staring
or
at yours
walking
right
together. Yeah, yeah.
Let's give a shout out to another new sponsor. Let's take a moment and bring our next part of this
Amen.
podcast. And we want to thank. Really, we're praising God for the sponsors and thanking them for making it possible for us to do this. So, if you want to make a difference, like a real difference, and I'm not talking about just using a cool filter on your selfies. I'm talking about a real contribution. Then go to goservechange.com and get to know the folks at Connect Global. They're providing sustainable solutions such as solar energy, aquaponics, and clean water that are making a huge impact around the world to improve very critical but solvable problems. So go to their website and check them out. See how you can donate, how you can be informed, read their blogs, or even schedule a trip to go with them and get some dirt under your nails and some love squeezed out of your heart by expressing love in action. My friend Javier says this. He says, compassion without action is just observation. So choose action. Isn't that good?
Dude, that is-
Isn't that good? I love that,
that's a
Javier.
sermon
Thank you
right
for
there.
that. And you'll get to meet Travis Moffitt as well. And I thank the guys for their work. Go check them out today and see how you can make a real difference. New sponsor, Connect Global. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, it's been great getting to know them. Javier, I've had the chance to talk with him a few times, and Travis is coming to speak at our church soon.
Yeah,
So
and he's going to
I'm
be
really excited
gonna
about
be a
that.
Travis will be
on
a guest on our podcast, so we're looking forward to that.
I don't think I've met Travis. I have met Javier, and he's he's awesome.
Yeah, these are some good guests.
Hello,
the one thing
Javier.
that
I
I
know
can
you're watching. You're awesome.
Javier Mendoza.
Javi,
Listen,
can I call you Javi?
Javi.
I just feel like that's
Javi.
the name.
The thing about the people that sponsor on this that we've had the privilege of is we know them, we get to know them, and iron sharpens iron. So that's one beautiful thing is we're able to recommend them to you and say, hey, choose these and use and get to know these sponsors. We also are thankful that we get to know them as well and just want this part of the body of Christ to work like it should, and that's by us associating with each other, introducing each other, networking with each other. And so please get to know these guys. We don't just do this so we can do so we can say, hey, we got sponsors. We do it so we can develop relationships, and that's what it's all
Amen.
about. So
Right.
anyway, okay, so we've been talking about the things that are praiseworthy, the things we like to talk about, and I like that. And what you guys have really done a lot of talking about tonight is changing the atmosphere, shifting the conversation to where it'll really bring an uplifting. And one of my favorite Saturday Night Live characters in the past was Debbie Downer, and complete with the soundtrack, and the camera that zooms up in her when it's but what about the children who have colitis, or something that's just we can never get
Debbie
excited.
Downer.
Debbie Downer. So, what can we do to help bring up the atmosphere? All right, this is where Soul Colonic is going to thrive because part of what hydrocolon therapy does, part of what a colonic does, is it affects your body in numerous ways. One of them is to bring in to give you a better mood from the inside out. And so what we're wanting to do is in Soul Colonic give you a better mood. I'm going to give you this.
Thanks. I needed that. Sorry for anyone that heard.
He was hacking in my ear over here.
Disgusting.
Yes, so I'm going to use one of these. He hacked in my ear. I will put this one right there in my ear.
Cough drops for your ears.
So anyway, one way that we change atmospheres is by the soundtrack playing.
Oh yeah.
The music. And
We were
so,
just talking about this. I know you put on the worst music for your kids.
It's like an instant atmosphere change.
Yeah. So
It really is.
two-part question.
what's that?
What are your guys' happy jams? Now, I would love for I know there's like 6 of you watching live right now, and many more of you will be watching this after we're done streaming, but I'd love for as many people to get involved in the comment sections here as possible. Let's list 2 songs, at least. You can have multiple for each category. What are your happy songs, your happy jams, both maybe worship/Christian songs, maybe Christian radio, or maybe more of like a corporate worship, praise type thing, and then non-Christian stuff. I know Chris's because it's the same as mine. The non-Christian one is obviously
It's Float On.
by Modest Mouse.
All right.
Absolutely.
This song
Float
showed
on.
up in last podcast.
Yes.
It has its
Kicking
great
it
songs.
down
Well,
It's one of those
it
that
applies
just
to pretty
floats
much
the
anything,
problems
yeah.
right on away.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
So that's one of
guys,
mine.
Hey, it's a floater.
Oh,
You're-
floats right to the top.
Floats right
That's
down.
why
what
that's
are
why
some-
our ratings are low
what are
right
some of your
there.
happy jams? What are some of your happy jams, both Christian and non-Christian, that put you in a good mood, or you're in a bad mood, or you feel sad, so you put it on to get out of it? Like,
Yeah.
let's talk
So
about that.
one of my favorites, I've told Tyler this. One of my favorites, when Holiday was born, I went across the street to get Chipotle and bring it back to the hospital for Melissa after she was done giving birth, she could eat. And a song came on the radio, and I've just like really connected it back to that time period in my life. It's not like one of those driving like upbeat happy songs, but you ever listen to David Gray, the song "Please Forgive Me"? It's like a straight up like I think you'd really like it. One of my favorite songs. Actually, it's become top 2.
Really?
Easy, yeah.
Do you do a lot of things that you need to ask forgiveness for from your wife?
No. It's
It's just
you
a
should
happy.
just listen to
I
it.
will.
Just listen to
Speaking
it.
of her wife, she
Thank
says
you for
any
that.
Chili Peppers song
Oh
ever.
yeah, she loves
She
Chili
loves
Peppers.
the
Really?
What's really cool?
Wait. Let's not leave that conversation.
No,
just
no,
because.
I'm going.
Oh, good.
I'm going with
Good.
it.
Bring
I'm going
it.
with it. We were on our way for Melissa to be induced with Joshua and a Red Hot Chili. She was real nervous. We were both nervous. We were like holding hands in the car. It's like a 25-minute drive to the hospital.
All of a sudden.
And Danny California comes on.
Oh,
Dude,
Oh,
that's a
and
great
Such
song.
a great song.
Oh man, and it was like, man, God was with us. And I know God's not in the Chili Peppers, but He speaks to us through music.
Have you heard Flea play the bass? I
have.
believe that I could refute your statement
Dude.
there. Give it away. Give it away.
Give it away,
Give it away now.
give it away.
All right, that's a good song. I like that, and I'm glad that Melissa showed up with the Peppers on that.
Yeah.
That was your non-Christian jam.
I've got a couple of non-Christians, but that was one that really sticks out. I love Houdini by Foster the People. Gets me going. If I'm on the way to the gym, if I'm not
Yes.
listening to like rap, it is Foster the People every time.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah. Dude, I think that I love every single Foster People song
Oh yeah.
they've ever written.
Yeah.
Like I actually, and they're not my favorite band. They're in that
I
top
like 'em.
category
They're
for
up
me.
there, yeah.
But I have never heard a song by them. I've listened to every song they've put out. I've not heard one that I don't like.
Love it.
For me, one that consistently gets me going, and it's, man, I don't really go out of my way to listen to it all the time, but whenever it comes on my playlist, when I hear "Don't Let Me Down" by the Beatles, man, it's just something about, it's like, it's either a Rhodes or a Wurlitzer piano that they have playing, the bass line plays with it. Don't
That's a
let
good groove
me
right there.
down. And
That's a
he's
good
playing
one.
that
I need to
Sheridan
check it
Epiphone.
out.
It's so good, man. Yeah, his guitar's just past the edge of breakup. It's
right
great.
at the edge of breakup.
Mm.
Past it. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
right past it. No, maybe right on the other side, right on the clean
edge.
side.
Yeah.
It's great.
You'd have to be a guitarist to
Yeah.
Well,
understand. that
personally, I don't listen to non-Christian music, so I'm going to say.
stuff. This guy knows more about music
Wait,
than any
wait,
of us in this
before
room.
you
So I'm
go
gonna
there.
say no. I'm gonna say "Wonder" by Hillsong. That's my jam.
Oh, yes.
"Wonder" by Hillsong, and yes, I do listen to non.
Oh,
You know, the
man.
fact that I
Our
listen to the
wives.
music makes the music Christian because I am a Christian, and I
Amen.
filter out the stuff
I like
that doesn't.
that. That's good.
But
That-
Wonder, listen, Wonder last year specifically was just. I looked for that. I looked for that album on vinyl because typically when I'm listening to praise and worship, it doesn't, to me, it never has resonated in my mind as a vinyl quality thing. It's something that needs to be in my ears. It needs to be on my, all that.
It's a
because
more of an intimate thing.
Yeah, and it's a relationship thing, and I'm going to, but that was the first, I don't know, in a long time, the first album or first song, worship song or praise song that I really wanted to sit down and have that on the quality of vinyl.
Did you buy it?
I still haven't got it on
you can get
vinyl.
it.
They have it available, yeah.
I couldn't find it. I looked,
Oh,
but anyway,
my.
that's
available later.
That one that really
Yeah.
explores a lot of great things. That song to me is simply coming out of the wilderness into the promised land. That's what that song is all about, and I really love that song. So that's
I
that's
love Chris's wife's Janelle.
yeah.
She
I love
said-
my wife too.
No, I love her answer. I love her, but not like that.
she's a good quality person.
She said her song is Toto, or not Toto, Africa by
Africa
Toto.
by Toto.
Which
And
is, how can
everybody
you,
says
can
amen.
you be mad? Can you
You
we
can't
just
even-
phrase
Oh, no,
this real
yeah.
quick?
You can't.
Can we phrase this real quick? Just imagine this for a second. Have you ever seen anyone make a frowny face when they hear doom 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 doom? And all of a sudden they're smiling.
The wild dogs echoing tonight. Oh gosh, I'm
Then-
happy right now.
Then
Good
my
one.
wife said the new slang by the Shins, which
Oh yeah, the Shins.
it makes me
Awesome.
happy too. That's
love
so
the
ironic
Shins.
because that song is kind of a was written out of a depressed angst towards
Man,
his
I want
hometown.
Yeah.
I want my wife to comment.
But
Y'all's
man,
wives.
Looks like she's
I'm sorry.
watching.
I'm watching our show on a delay, and I just saw myself dancing. I am so sorry to everyone that watched that.
Our
But
apologies.
what that did just now when she said "New Slang by the Shins," it made me think of for real. I remembered my favorite song, my happy song, is "Simple Song" by the Shins.
Oh yeah.
That
good one.
Yes, every time I hear that organ, and it's just like
Oh, I
the
hear
voices
it
are
right now,
coming
yeah.
in before
Yeah.
they, and then all of a sudden the guitars, darn. Oh my gosh, that song makes me happy every time I hear it. So that's
And
my answer.
I'm digging right now by Hillsong "You Are Life."
Oh, yeah.
Man, I've been singing that nonstop.
That's
lately.
a great one. Your
Um,
Life is a great one.
It's just upbeat. It's
Good
really
Grace
exciting.
by them has been my anthem. Their Hillsong United's new song,
Yeah.
Good Grace. That, oh my Lord, that has been my Christian anthem.
I
Like
think
my worship song anthem lately.
my favorite one that they've done recently was "Even When It Hurts." I know that one.
Oh.
Was it's controversial for a while.
Yeah,
but
'cause she
I-
says-
I
She says
really
hell.
love
She
that
says
song.
hell in it, and all the
That's
Christian people are
Oh,
like,
wait a minute.
Like-
We can't listen to that any longer.
Yeah.
I'm not a
I was
pastor,
gonna say.
so I
So
don't,
you're
like,
allowed.
I don't feel bad about it. I can
Yeah.
say that.
So you're allowed.
That's
I
great.
remember when Metamorphosis, the album by Delirious,
Delirious.
came out, and
Yeah.
She
lead
was
singer,
pretty as hell.
Hey, she's pretty as hell. That line really got him a lot of flack.
He was-
but maybe he was just saying she is just one ugly woman, and maybe
Yeah.
and maybe that's what
That's
that.
offensive.
Anyway,
he was trying to say she's as pretty as, and then like all of the things that come to mind with. It was like a double play. It was a play
Yeah,
on words.
it's
Yeah,
So it got
emotional, yeah.
things just like the Hillsong
but
one.
that song is not my happy jam. My other Christian happy jam is the OC Supertones. Oh, the Supertones Strike Back. That one. Sorry, a
Supertones
little,
Strike Back.
a little
Dun,
ska.
dun, 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 dun,
Just
dun.
makes
That
yeah.
one's
Yeah.
great. Can
That
we
one's a
talk
good one.
about
Supertone fight
what
back
was
and
the
take it down.
Newsboys song? Breakfast
Oh,
in Hell.
Huh?
They don't
When
serve breakfast
the-
in hell.
Yeah,
Oh, the
yeah. How does that song
breakfast?
start?
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
Do, 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 do. That's a good song. I like that one there. The
When the
my
big one finds you, that this song reminds you that they don't serve breakfast in hell.
Oh my gosh! All right, since we're waxing nostalgic on the happiness here, a good one for me is Less Than Jake's "The Science of Selling Yourself Short."
Oh my gosh.
That one changes the atmosphere, and it's about a guy who just can't live life very well, but it's to a happy beat. I
oh,
love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And the melodies and the harmonies just grab
They're
your
great.
soul.
They are great.
You know what song I didn't think about when we were preparing for the show until we were actually sitting and talking through it. I Believe in a Thing Called Love by The
Yes.
Darkness.
The
It
Darkness.
just changed my mood for the evening.
Yeah.
I haven't
It's
listened to that in
almost
forever.
silly.
It
It's
is-
almost silly,
it
but
is
it's like
silly.
actually good.
Oh man, I
Ooh.
forgot about that one. I've loved that one. for
Yellow
years.
Cards, Ocean Avenue album is great, but
Yes.
there's a song on
Is
there.
that the one?
Life of a Salesman?
Is
yeah,
that-
yeah.
is that the one?
Father,
Oh.
I will
Yeah, you're gonna make me
always
cry,
be-
man.
Yeah, shout out to Tony DeLillo, who I know loves that song about as much as I do.
That song, when you got married, I don't know if I guess you remember that when you got married.
Wait, you remember when you got married?
I do.
You remember when you got
Vaguely.
married that day? Remember that one time?
Vaguely.
Yeah, and I got to perform the ceremony, but I'm telling you what, I was having a rough time releasing you. And right before you went down the aisle, you said, "Hey, Dad, hang on." And you sent that CD in to me, and you'd recorded that song about, "Hey, Dad, I'll always be that little boy stood by the sea looking up, and I want to be just like you, Dad." And I'm sitting there bawling about to do the.
Yeah, man, good moment.
I love you.
Good song. I love you too.
That's adorable.
Yay.
That
Yay.
was cute.
I got one more non-Christian jam here. It's by Manchester Orchestra. I've Got Friends.
Still haven't listened to them.
No
Oh,
way.
man, yeah, they're good.
I mean,
every
I've
album
heard
is
like
good.
a few things on the radio.
Every
or
single-
None of
I
their
listen
albums
to
are
them
good, just that
every
one
Christmas.
song.
Yeah.
Here we
I
are
like that.
again, offending artists.
Did we? That's right.
They suck, guys.
Ooh, what about the Talking Heads?
Psycho Killer?
No, the other one.
Wild Wild West?
Come on, you know the one I'm saying. It's,
Wildlife? Or not
You may
Wildlife.
find yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
The Big Suit song.
Yeah, I
What's
need
that
to
song
look
called?
up what that means.
What is the name of that song?
Water? It's something about water. Water surrounding us, or I don't know.
Water's on the bottom of the
Watching
ocean.
the
Water's
days
on the
go
bottom.
by.
You may
The
find yourself.
water-
That's a good song.
That's a
Anyway,
good one.
I don't know what your favorite jams are, but share in the conversation. I understand that Joshua Watson loves Brooks and Dunn's Maria, and
My wife,
Marie.
and my wife also loves "In the Middle" by Jimmy Eat World. Great
Yes.
song.
Oh yeah.
It
Yes.
just takes some time. Little.
I saw
Sorry,
them
Josh, I
3
tried to
separate
give
times,
you
and they
some
always
time,
end
and
on
it
that
just
song.
got
Brooks and Dunn.
Nobody.
You're the only
anyway,
one.
yeah, no.
I
Anyway,
think my personal favorite right now, though, would be "Fat Bottom Girls" by Queen.
oh,
Okay.
right
So
now,
Have we talked about that?
Queen is trending
Am I
high
allowed to
right
say
now.
that?
They
Who's
sure
seen
are.
the movie?
That's a
Anybody?
good one.
Anybody seen the movie?
Oh, I
I still
loved
have
it.
not.
I loved
yet.
I need to watch
I
it.
don't go to the movies anymore.
We don't watch the blue.
Not because I don't want to.
That song
You
is
got a
called
child.
"Once in a Lifetime."
Never get
the
there.
one
That's
about
it.
the
Once in a
water.
lifetime.
Of course.
Yeah,
It's-
very good
that's
song.
the- That's the chorus. Once in a lifetime.
I like me some Talking Heads. That's really good. All right. Anybody else got any happy jams before we run over to the news department
man.
tonight?
"Everlong" by the Foo Fighters.
Oh, man.
I am
Monkey
finally
Wrench by the Foo
Monkey
Fighters.
just
Really
really
anything by
they're,
the Foo
they're an
Fighters.
exciting.
I'm
fun
scrolling
band
through
to
our
listen
comments.
to.
Y'all keep talking. I'm going to see if I can find. Janelle says "Living Hope" by Phil Wickham is her happy jam
That's
on the
good.
Christian
She
side.
also really likes "Sweetness" by Jimmy Eat World.
Oh yeah, "Sweetness" is like those two songs right there. If you're not a Jimmy Eat World fan,
You know those
you
songs.
still know those
Right,
two songs.
yeah.
Yeah. "Witness" by Jordan Feliz. Kelly Stark says Eric Clapton. So I guess the whole
Oh,
discography.
yes.
I mean,
all of it.
Yeah, man.
I actually
Eric
watch
Clapton's great.
live performances of him all the time, like one.
Yep.
Lay Down Sally is a good,
yeah.
happy Eric Clapton song.
Good.
let's see.
If any one of you say cocaine, then we will see you in the admin department later on, human resources. So, no, that's
We have
fine.
one of those.
Okay,
I think we've cleaned everything.
we've caught up. Everybody
Yeah.
has said something. What's going on
Yeah,
newsworthy wise?
so-
that's praiseworthy.
I want to talk about McDonald's and how much press they've gotten.
Since the Clemson.
Yeah. Really.
I'm just saying, if I made it all the way to the national championship and I won, I would want something a little bit better than
Oh,
a dollar menu.
So
Sandwich.
I saw news. I was
I'd be
I was
there.
looking this
I'd
up
be all
because
over a Big Mac.
the funniest picture on the internet right now is Donald Trump standing in front of this table, just doing this. It's not a meme. He's literally just doing this.
he
And
is a meme.
You-
He's a living meme.
He
does.
just like, and it's
He sets
amazing.
him up
It's
for
it's
some
The
good
best,
meaning.
yeah.
the best part of that picture is the side eye that the picture of Lincoln is given.
Yes. Yeah.
I haven't
So
seen
is.
that. Yeah,
He's-
I've got to
look
see
it
that.
up.
The greatest thing is you've got these beautiful candlesticks.
Oh,
stands
yeah.
and all this.
That
and all
look
this
like they're
just,
about to
cheap
say,
food.
"Be my guest."
Yeah.
Be
Yeah,
my
yeah.
guest.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
that's what those.
so good.
That's what those candles
The
look like.
scene
Yeah.
couldn't have been set better for this particular president to do this particular thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even like a controversial thing. You like him or not, this
was
was,
a great-
just a silly thing.
Very
It was-
good.
This happened.
This,
It
yeah.
did.
This thing happened.
And my favorite
You
thing
can't
about these
unhappen
pictures,
this.
my favorite thing about these is that these are still individually wrapped. Right? They're in. I'm
they
looking
didn't
at a
even
picture
take
right
them out
now.
and
They're
stuff.
in boxes.
The
That's
display's
amazing.
awful.
Well,
I mean,
It's like, oh shoot, we forgot to get something for the picnic.
No, but
Packets
the
of
thing-
barbecue sauce are in the gravy holders.
not even stacked
in the
up.
packages.
Those silver. But the thing is,
It's great.
Look at the guys. Look at those football players, though, man. They're stacking
They're
them up
piling
and
them
they're
up.
excited.
They're like, I've
They're
got
happy,
18
man.
double
They're going,
cheeseburgers.
dude.
I'd be happy to be in the White House no matter what. But
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, I would have loved to have
Dude,
like
that place is really cool.
Coach
If
never
you like
lets us have
history and
these.
stuff. Yeah. They get back.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like doing 2-day practices.
I mean, the
work
guy
that
is
stuff
a
out.
multi-millionaire.
But that's what he eats.
Billionaire.
That's
Okay,
what he
fair
eats.
enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought
He's
he
a
lost.
He's a
the billions.
billionaire.
Is he still a billionaire?
I
Well,
don't know.
either way, he can afford to
got
do a
more money
little
than I
bit
do.
better. But yes, you're right.
Not with a government shutdown right now. So he's.
So-
he
the-
paid for
the
those things out
story-
of his own pocket, so he could have.
The story that came
for more
from
than
that, though, and we'll move on to the next thing. The story that came from that I was paying attention to is there's a Chicago restaurant owner of a 3 Michelin star restaurant. I don't even know. How do you say that?
It was a
Restaurant.
really fancy restaurant.
Yes, very
Fancy stuff.
The
You could
best
ask my wife.
restaurant in Chicago is offering the Clemson football team a free meal. I thought that was really neat. Regardless of what went down with McDonald's,
Right.
That's a really cool gesture. Those guys, they don't get paid to do what they do,
Which is
yet
awful.
TV networks and schools make ridiculous
Dude,
amounts
the
of money off of these
NCAA
kids.
is just garbage.
All right, so here's the
Sorry.
here's the thing that has flown under the radar. You know, they'll have this one a red herring over here, McDonald's, Trump over here. But the thing that's flying under the radar right now is Steve Carell is going to star in a Netflix comedy based on the Space Force.
I'm so excited for that.
It
But
is-
what kind of comedy? What kind of show is it?
It's basically, I mean, it's put on by Greg Daniels, who also put on The Office. So
Like a
I mean,
workplace. Kind
yeah,
of thing?
workplace
in
kind of
space.
thing, or Space Force ish. There's so much pressure for this to be good because Steve Carell just said he would not go back to The Office.
Right.
Yeah. So do we know any lineup of cast or anything?
I don't. This is
Or
still like in the
writers?
beginning. But Steve Carell is making $1 million an episode. This is a Netflix original.
Well, shoot, he could afford to
$1
buy
million.
some hamburgers. I mean, something for the
Yeah.
Clemson
He
team.
I
could
could
have.
afford to buy those hamburgers.
Yeah, we could have bought those hamburgers.
Cool.
So
Oh my
Netflix
gosh.
is about to
You
get
know,
more expensive.
technically, if you
probably.
look at it, we did buy those hamburgers.
No,
Yeah.
those came straight out of his personal pocket because
Yeah.
the government
Oh, no,
was
you're
We
right.
shut
tried
down.
Shut
to.
down.
Yeah.
We tried to, but
We
we
couldn't
couldn't.
if we
We
tried.
couldn't if we tried. That's
We
right.
tried. We tried Clemson.
Yeah.
We.
Don't blame us, Clemson.
Yeah.
Well,
Blame whoever you want.
Yeah,
Just
so
not us.
that's a big deal though.
They're like,
I
who
mean,
are
the
you
Space
guys?
Force as the Super Troopers style. I'd never watched Super Troopers. Did you?
Don't try to be all spiritual.
No, I never did.
I never
but-
watched that R-rated comedy.
No,
Look,
I
I'll
never
tell you,
actually
I watched
did.
Super Troopers,
Okay.
and it was hilarious.
All right.
was
So-
it? Would you tell
Set-
us about it after the broadcast?
After the broadcast.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, I don't know
Good
anything
book.
about these movies, especially the ones made in the '80s, but I'm really interested to see how that goes because Steve Carell's awesome, and he broke the mold from the comedy because he's a comedian
Oh yeah.
at first, but
And
then
now
he
he's just
moved
like a
into like a
quality
great actor.
Yeah.
I love him.
With
Me
Foxcatcher.
Yeah, Fox. Did y'all watch Foxcatcher?
Yeah,
I
Did you
have
see it?
not seen it.
Yeah, I
You
did.
need to watch it
I
just
want
to see
to.
how he makes that prosthetic nose
Work
become
for
Oh
him.
yeah,
work and how,
he
it's
he
his own
was
character.
Yeah.
yeah.
So anyway,
grew
I'm really
that nose
interested
on
to
a-
see
on a mouse.
post Oscar performances what he does on the other side of that. That's
Yeah.
gonna be.
I
really
heard that
great.
they grew that nose on the back of a mouse.
Yeah, we've
it
got
wasn't a
pictures,
real
proof.
prosthetic nose. They grew it on Steve Carell's arm, actually, and then attached
it to his nose.
Very good, very
Gross.
good. They actually have stunt doubles now that will allow you to grow the nose on their arm.
See,
And,
that's how you got to do it. That's how you
that's
know
real
you're
star.
in the upper
you're
echelon.
A
A-list.
A-list star.
Wow,
If you've
no,
got-
they can grow noses on your forehead. I'm not
And
gonna
then
show this
what?
picture. It's a little.
What do you do with it after
Gross.
that point?
You,
Well, they move it.
you
They
you
just,
move.
like,
no.
pull it off and
you,
stick
no,
it
you
on?
don't.
It's like
you-
Photoshop.
They
You just
remove
kinda,
it
like,
and they
drag
put it
and
back down to the
drop.
nose that got destroyed by cancer.
What
And that's-
happens
that's
during
a-
the growing process?
It-
Do you just sit there with a
Yes,
nose on your
you
face?
do. And we actually, yeah, I've known
Yeah.
a couple of people actually went through that process. Actually,
For real.
Yeah,
Not a
yes,
joke.
you-
for real.
yeah, you
not a
told me
joke.
about that.
Nose went in there with a little bit of cancer, and they start trying to cut it off, thinking it'd be fine. And then before they know it, no, it's deep, and the person goes out and they don't have a nose. There's this new process same concept and everything, and they put it they grow the nose right up here, and because then all they have to do is trim it and fold the skin down, it goes right here, and then they cosmetically adapt it and everything. And it's
Wow,
a real,
that's incredible.
Yeah, it's a
That
real
is so
amazing.
intense.
Yeah, it is intense, and but it's a great testimonial. And there's people that you guys actually know that went through this, and you probably
Guys,
would
I
never
know
know
who
it
you're
because
talking
it's
about.
such a good
Yeah.
procedure.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Oh, the black hole that Google Images is when you start researching noses growing on foreheads.
I bet.
I can't unsee
Hey,
that.
I know.
Maybe
it's-
don't search that.
Yeah.
It's
Hey, I
nothing,
know
like,
we're
really
about
bad,
to
it's
bring
just
this show
weird.
to a close, but we're talking about good things and things to look forward to and things like that. I'm just curious, how many of our viewers would be interested in Soul Colonic merchandise? I'm talking T-shirts,
I'd wear a
crew
poop shirt.
necks, long lines,
Me.
maybe buttons or hats or something like that. If
Buttons.
that's something you'd be interested in,
Coffee cups.
coffee mugs, let us know, because we have awesome sponsors. However, this is a startup, and we want to make sure that it's something that you guys will definitely get your hands on and get excited about and wear around. Let us know. Give us some feedback in the comment section. You can always message us on Facebook and everything like that. So we're definitely thinking about all the different ways to do this. But yeah, let us know if that's something you'd be interested in.
I'm interested. Lots of people wear shirts.
I've heard
Most of
that.
them.
I've
Most
heard
of-
that.
If you go into Walmart, maybe.
Well, not everyone. Every time I go to your house, your kid is not wearing
That's true.
not
my,
only a shirt.
My kid is butt
Don't-
naked all
Nothing.
the time. I yell at him
It's easier to
probably
buy
Soul Colonic
70
diapers.
times a day. Kid, put some underwear on.
He just laughs at you and runs away.
He runs away. He goes and gets it and then holds it.
That's going to be
Carries
one
around like a
annoying
flag.
17-year-old one day. All right.
God.
Hey, listen, we want to thank you for joining us. And don't forget, what we're doing is we are talking about the positive. We're talking about the good things. The Word says that the things that are pure, things that are good, lovely, and worthy of praise, think on these things and talk about these things, and you'll be amazed at how the atmosphere changes just by that, by your conversation. And so we hope tonight we've been able to just help that in your life, and we want you to carry it out. And with that, want to toss this over to Chris Ford, and thank you all for joining us. Chris, take it.
I got it. Hey guys, so thank you for tuning in. Like us on Facebook. Make sure you give us a follow. Support us, subscribe to YouTube, iTunes, all that stuff that we're doing. We're doing all this for you guys, so we want to make sure that you have every avenue to follow us that you can. For every 1,000 likes that we get, we're going to be doing a giveaway. We're not quite sure what that giveaway is going to be yet, but it's going to be awesome because it's us. I mean, so what else can you expect? But the more times we hit 1,000, the bigger we get, the bigger the giveaways are going to get. So make sure you share with your friends, your family, your enemies, people that you meet on the street. If you happen to know celebrities, tweet it at them, all kinds of stuff. Just let us know. Talk about us, tell your friends, tell everybody you know. Tell the president so he can tweet about us, good or bad. It's going to get us press. That's obvious. Hamburgers. Tell all of your hamburgers.
Like
Anybody
Swedish.
you know in Hamburg, let them know. And then, let us know if you guys are interested in any kind of merch, what type of merch you're interested in, because we are taking orders, apparently. So we'll get all that going, and then we'll let you know when we have a store up. Other than that, so up your
What he
relationship
meant
with
is
God.
we will take your money.
No, that's absolutely
And
true.
we'll invest
take
it.
all the money. Like, any money you have, we'll
I just
take it.
realized that my name is written on the chalkboard behind you, Chris.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. It says Tyler right there. All right, well,
Awesome.
that's it for our show tonight, guys. Up your soul.